If you are tired of writing lines of code that you don't know what they mean, then stick around because this course is for you. Hello, my name is Ale. Welcome to this programming course for beginners. With this course you will develop the programmer logic so that later you can learn any programming language more easily. You will know what instructions you should give to your program depending on what is the problem you want to solve. And you will also be able to check if your program works before you start coding it. During the course we won't see a lot of theory. Instead, we will focus on developing programs and explaining them so you can understand how each of them works. We will work with the program Raptor. This program is very easy to use and will help us to build flowcharts in a very simple way. To understand what a flowchart is, first I have to explain what an algorithm is. An algorithm is a set of instructions that has an order and allows to solve a problem. Everything you do in your life is an algorithm: washing your hands, making coffee, brushing your teeth. To do all these activities you have to follow a series of steps that help you to solve a problem. Now let's look at the algorithm used for hand washing. As you can see, we have a beginning, a process, and an end. In the beginning we put the tools that will be used to solve the problem. To wash our hands we only need soap and water. In the process we give the instructions for solve the algorithm. We wet our hands with water, we rub them with soap, and rinse them with water. If you look at the process, we take the tools from the beginning and give them a purpose. For example, water is used first to wet the hands and then to rinse them. Assuming that at the end of washing your hands you dry them with a towel, you would have to put at the beginning that you are going to use a towel, and then in your process you would add a last step, which would be dry your hands with a towel. It also says that an algorithm is an ordered sequence of steps. This means that our instruction must have logical order. For example, you can't dry your hands if you haven't wet them first, or you can dry them first and then add soap. In the end is where the result is shown. In this case, the purpose of our algorithm is to wash our hands. Assuming we follow all the steps correctly, we end up with clean hands, and that means our algorithm works. Now you know how to use an algorithm. This is a simple algorithm that we can give to a person and they understand it, because they know they have to go a sink, they know what a soap and towel are. But when we give instructions to a computer, it is a little more complicated. The computer doesn't know what water is or what a sink is. First, we would have to tell it what water is, what it's for, and then we could use it. But let's take it easy. Everything we write in our algorithm can be represented in a diagram. This is called a flowchart, which is a graphical representation of an algorithm. The Raptor program will help us to build the flowcharts in a super easy way, so that we only have to worry about learning the programming logic. I leave the download link for Raptor in the description. Now I will run the basic Hello World program in Raptor to give you an idea of how easy it is to use. The Raptor program constantly asks to save the program, so the first thing I'm going to do is save it. Here we can see the beginning and the end of the diagram. We only have to put the instructions in the middle. On the left side we see some symbols. Each of them has a specific function. In this case, all we want is to show a message to the user that says Hello World. Then we must select this symbol, which is the output symbol. When it turns red, it means that it's selected and we can use it. We place the cursor in the middle of our diagram and click on it. As we can see, the output symbol was put here. To use it, we just have to double click and this window opens. The function of output is to display on screen everything we write here. In this case, we want to write hello world. Here I have to make a parenthesis and say that in programming there are different types of data. There are text and numeric data. These are subdivided into more types such as integers or decimal, but for this exercise you just need to know that they are divided into numbers and text. When we want to write a text type data, we always have to put it in quotation marks. So I'm going to put a couple of quotation marks, and in the middle of them I will write our phrase, which is hello world. We accept and we see that the instruction is already shown here. Now to start our program we just have to click on the play button above and we see how it starts reading the instructions. When it finishes reading them, then it opens these windows and shows us the sentence that we put, which is hello world. That concludes our program. In this channel I will be uploading courses for you to learn to program and also to use very programming language. I'm Ale, see you in the next video. Thank you very much.